I don't know if I'm feeling the vibe or not, because I decided to come outside today because just for a different scenery. It's really hot though, and I was gonna film my car, but it'd be hot in my car too because it's literally like 110 degrees outside. We have these butterfly locks. If you guys want a video on those, let me know. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself. I just be talking. Hey everyone, it's your girl Aniya here. Welcome back to today's video.
Thank goodness you're here.
Alright, anyways, butterfly locks. If you guys want a video on them, let me know, because I did film it, so I just don't know if you guys want to actually see it. But for today's video, we're gonna be talking about Whataburger, and I already made a video on my experience there and basically like how disrespected I was there as an employee, and just like how bad they treat their employees, and like how it's just a terrible job, and I don't recommend anyone to work there. So if you want to watch that video, which I recommend, because I feel like it gives you more of a background of like how my store was, my experience, I'll put the video in the eye if I remember it. If I don't put it there, someone yell at me in the comments. So the first story I'm gonna be telling is the one you guys see in the title above. This happened literally my last week of actually working there. So that week a lot of stuff happened. So this is just, I think, a sign that God was just telling me that I should leave. So basically at Whataburger, I would work like, most of my hours would be like 12 to 8. There'd be like one day a week I'd work like 4 to 9. That's like the shortest shift I'd ever have. We were literally busy every single day, and also people weren't cooking as much, I guess. Like they just wanted fast food. Alright, so this day that I had worked, I was working from 6 to 1 this day, and I was working on a Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't remember what day it is, but it could have been a Thursday. But one random day of the week, just not the weekend. And during this day of the week, the shipment people would always come to drop off all the food, so you know, like the fries, like all the stuff that we need for the rest of the week, the supply stuff. They will always come this day at like 1 a.m. basically. So every time that I was supposed to be leaving, like I usually would never leave on time because the shipment people are there and they didn't have anyone to cover me, so I would never leave. And they would always schedule me 6 to 1 on this day, so it always happens to me every week. I'd always stay about to like 3 a.m. So yeah, that day was basically busy until like 10 or whatever. That's when people started to leave that are working the graveyard shift. And graveyard, by the way, is just like midnight shifts. I don't know how else to describe it. So when everyone left, I was the only one who was doing the taking orders and working the actual like register. And the other people there, we had 3 cooks, and like I said, the shipment people were there, so 2 of the cooks, they were always helping like the shipment people like put stuff where it belongs and stuff, and so was one of the managers. And then we have a team leader, so that's literally all that's there. Me, the 3 cooks, that's 4 people, the team leader, and then the manager. And we only have one of those cooks cooking, and I believe I don't know what the team leader was actually doing. I mean, she was in the front for most of the time, I think, so it's really just 3 of us in the front, and which is really not that bad since it's 1 a.m. But the thing is, for some reason it would get super busy, y'all. 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, it would always get super busy, and it's annoying because it's like, I mean, I don't think they should be having like 5 million people there for graveyard shifts, but at the same time, like, I'm supposed to leave at 1 o'clock and I'm still here past the time. Anyways, that's just me rambling about how annoying that job was. But yeah, so that's basically all that's there at the time. It was normal, whatever. People were there. It takes longer to get food just because we don't really have like as many workers and stuff. This had to happen around, I don't know, let me see if I have the text. Cause I remember texting my friends about it right after it happened, but I can't really remember. Oh y'all, okay, I literally have the messages of me like texting like when everything happened, bro. Okay, this happened on a Thursday. Okay, and I didn't get home to 3:41 a.m. because that's when I was texting. Oh my god. Okay, it's cute. Okay, that's crazy, bro. So this is what happened, y'all. I'm so bad telling stories. When it started to calm down, the customer comes through, whatever. Like I said, I was working the window as well, taking the order. And so when I was working the window, I charged them whatever, and everything was normal. At this point, I already had charged them and gave them their food, not their food, their card and their drinks. So now they're just sitting out the window waiting on their food. While this was happening, at the time we didn't really see what happened, so we thought that a homeless man just was walking by. I'm gonna tell y'all right now what we thought had happened, and later in the story I'll tell you what actually happened. Literally, I just see the back of the door like close, and then the driver of the car, the guy, the boyfriend, he is chasing this homeless man. And the way our drive-thru was set up, by the window, of course, is lane A, on the right side is lane B. And so the husband or the boyfriend or whatever, he literally ran over to lane B, was beating this homeless man up. And like I said, we thought he just was beating him up because he walked by his car. And in the area, like, there are a lot of like homeless people in the area always, like, especially at night. And so like it wasn't uncommon for them to be walking around in parking lots or whatever. Like sometimes they'd be walking around during like our rush hours and be asking people for money. But anyways, so the homeless man, we thought he just walked by the car and he was beating him up. And then my team leader, she sees the guy beating him up. And she's like, what the heck? Like, why is, like, that's not wrong. That's wrong. And so she walks out like our back door and just starts screaming at him. But honestly, I really can't even tell you what she was saying to him because she was yelling at him in Spanish. But I'm guessing she was basically like yelling at him to tell him to stop, and like he didn't do anything to you, like just like tell him to stop beating him up. After the girlfriend in the car saw that our team leader was yelling at her boyfriend, she got out of the car and started yelling at her. And so everybody's yelling at each other. And just keep in mind, like, I'm just standing inside the store at the window looking at like,
the ghetto. The ghetto.
what is going on? And the cook that was there, he was like, but he been working there for like 15 years or something. Like, he probably wasn't that shook because literally the Whataburger I worked at has been on live PD before. But that's another story. I mean, I wasn't there when it happened, but like literally everyone's seen the video. But the witch hounds are annoying me so bad. They're so loud. So then, like, I don't know what, like, the guy stops beating the homeless man up. The homeless man literally is like, he was on the floor, like, getting hit at. Like, I know he was hurt. But he, like, backs away like this, like, you know, like when you're scared, like, you trying to back up so you don't get hit anymore. That's how he's backing away. And he ended up, like, walking away from the situation. And, yeah, so Jerry, the boyfriend, got back in the car. My manager and team leader, they came back inside, and the guy was banging on the window like, open up, open up, open up.
Open the up.
And I'm standing right there, so I'm like trying not to make eye contact with him. But then like he kept doing it, so I'm just like, he knows I hear him. So I looked at him and I was like, gonna open it before, like I was heading out the door like this, trying to decide if I'm gonna unlock it. And I turned around to the team leader. I was like, yeah, do I like answer her? And she's like, no, leave him alone. And I was like, oh. And so I just felt so awkward. I didn't even know what was going on, because again, the whole time they were yelling at each other in Spanish, and I just saw this homeless man walk by the car. I just thought he was beating up a innocent man, assault. But anyways, he got mad that I wasn't answering him. So they literally drive. Keep in mind, they don't have the food and anything. They just got their drinks, and they didn't have their ketchup, I don't think, at this point, because I didn't give them their ketchup yet. So they just had their drinks, and so they drive past the drive-thru and they go park in front of the store. Keep in mind, it's coronavirus, so our like front door is open, but no one's supposed to come in. The only time we go out of that door is if we're delivering orders. But literally the cook that was there, he's worked there for a long time, so I guess he knew what to do. He was there during the live PD situation too. So he goes and he pushes the 911 button, and oh, like I told you guys, the truck people that were there, the people that were there delivering our shipment, once they saw the people fighting, they went back into their truck and they called the police.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help!
And then we had called the police because we clicked our like emergency 911 button, and they had locked the back door and the front door, like everything was locked, so they couldn't come in because we thought they were trying to come in and fight us and yell at us, and like we don't know if they had a gun or something, like scary. And so that happens, and then I'm just shook. Everybody's kind of shook. We're all just standing there like, what now? And then the people are still coming to the drive-thru, so we're still taking orders, and then we start hearing like the police like sirens going by and everything, and then they start yelling. Oh, and the guy, like, when we had locked the doors, he was trying to come in because he came out of his car and tried to open it up, but we had locked it. And that's when the police start pulling up, and our manager goes out there to talk to them about what happened, and they were yelling at each other while the police were there. So I still can't really tell you what they were talking about, but I imagine it going like this. All right, so I'm a police officer, even though ACAP. So what seems to be the problem here? Why did you try to hit this man?
This homeless man opened the back door of my car.
Yes, the back door of my car.
Sat in my backseat, putting me and my girl in danger. So I stepped out like the man I am, and I did what I had to do.
So that's how I imagine what actually happened. But the police officers, while they were talking to this man, they realized he was drunk because you could smell the beer on him, and he couldn't walk in a straight line. So he got arrested, as well as his girl. I don't know why the girl got arrested too, but yeah, they went away to the back of his car, and the car was just left there. And our managers like could have towed the car, but they didn't. I guess that was nice of them. It was weird because keep in mind, all this stuff is happening and it's already past 1. Since they was always putting me on the schedule when the security trucks are there, I would never get off at 1. I'd always end up getting off at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And at this point, it was probably around like 2 something. And this even like elongated the process because I'm not only just waiting on them to finish with the supply stuff, stuff. Now I have to wait for them to finish with the police report and all this stuff. And then I talked to the action manager, and she was opening the phone. The general manager, she wasn't answering the phone. And yeah, I was there till like 3:30 something. And one of the cooks who were there that were helping like with the shipment stuff, they were nice because they gave the homeless man a cookie because they felt bad for him. But I just don't understand, like, was the homeless man trying to attack them or something? Like, what was the point?
What was the reason
of getting in this man's car? I'm not saying that he was right to beat him up, but I would not, like, from our perspective, like, that night we didn't know that he had went into his car until the police had came. We thought he just was beating him up because he was in his presence. That's dramatic. So I don't know what, like, if I don't know, I'd be scared if I was on myself and a homeless man went to my car. But at the same time, like, why your door's not locked? Because if I was in a drive-through, that homeless man would have had to break the window to get inside my car. I have a 2009 Volkswagen Passat, 2009. And that locks the doors automatically. Nobody's getting into my car. But that's just me. I don't know if this story was interesting, but I just thought it was just like, this is my last week of work. This is just definitely time for me to leave. Like I said, I didn't leave till about almost 4 in the morning, y'all. And I still had work the next day. So I hated working there, and that's just one of the stupid things that happened there. I mean, that wasn't like my business's fault. But like, that's just not my business. But that wasn't like Whataburger's fault for it happening. Like, they couldn't control that. But like, stuff like that always would happen there. Not to the extent where the police would have to come, but just things where customers are like disrespectful and rude. If y'all want another story time about stuff that happened there, just let me know in the comments below. Sorry story time wasn't crazy enough for y'all, but if y'all want to hear the story about the time I got bit by a dog there, let me know. I have a story time about creepy men, or just like the people I would encounter there that were weird. But I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and TikTok and stuff, so y'all can see more of me. And I also just post like additional content on there all the time. And yeah, I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Bye.
She done made the airbag pop out. Whip with a drop top roof. Whip that space smack on the dashboard. Car in a junkyard soon. Tow truck pick up cause the stuck can't move. Hood crush been rushed to the hospital. Told of the casualties. You'll see. Tune in to the evening news.